Ready?
Yep.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Full Metal Analysis. Welcome. We are in a victory week because it is that time that we've been waiting for all season long. We have made it to the playoff seasons. Our first playoff game is tomorrow. Sorry, we missed the video last week. I had a couple of medical complications, but we are back to you to bring you the Sports Lions. I'm Bruce Diggy. Got my co-host MJ Detroit Marcus. What's up, Marcus? Man, how's everything going since we last talked, man?
It's been a minute. It's been a lot of stuff going on. Wolverines are national champions.
Shout out U of M. It's all blue.
A lot of coaches fired, resigned, retired, and the Lions made headline news with the eligible, ineligible, craziest call of the year.
Right. It's been a lot going on. Let's start off with the
oh, my fault. And the Pistons won the game.
Let's start off with the Lions, man. What do you think about the eligible, ineligible call?
Oh man, I got an unpopular opinion on that one. I understand that I'm not really as upset as the majority of people are because while they did get screwed, it wasn't really anything like you could do about it. Like it was what it was, and it's like I can't even be fully mad because had Decker been announced as the eligible receiver, I can't say that Dallas wouldn't have covered him. They might not have. I don't know. Nobody knows. But once the referee made that mistake, man, either the Lions were getting screwed or the Cowboys were getting screwed. So, I mean, you could say they could have screwed the Cowboys and you would feel better about it. But in reality, I didn't think that was likely. So, I mean, it is what it is. And the game ended how it ended.
Yeah, man, I'm with the popular opinion. I hated the call. I feel like it's a travesty that they messed that call up. Yeah, you don't know if they would have covered Decker or not, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. We at the end of the day, we scored, you know what I'm saying, and they took it away from us. But I do agree with you. It is what it is, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. It is what it is, and we just got to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Just like Dan Campbell was saying right after the game, we had to move forward. And like Jared Goff was saying, if we had played better down the stretch, then we wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. So, other than that, we came out. I know it was what it was. We came out and we faced the Vikings next. What did you think about that game?
It was good. The biggest thing to come out that game was Laporta getting injured. I was okay with the starters playing. It's a violent game and injuries happen. You could have sat everybody. It was unlikely that you would have got that 2 seed, but the same people that tell me that Dan Campbell's aggression is what got us here. They tell me, hey, you got to take the good with the bad. So if you're gonna be aggressive to win games, you're gonna be aggressive to win games. And Laporta got hurt. He might play tomorrow. We'll see. It's looking like he might play, but what percentage is he at health wise? Probably not that good. I put it probably like 60%. It seems like, but no, they went out. They handled the Vikings. They showed them why they was NFC North champions, and finished the season with 12 wins. So I mean, that's all you can ask for, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, I love the call, but I didn't love the call. I mean, I like the aggression. I like the aggression. You know what I'm saying? And I'm rocking with Dan, man. If you want to be aggressive, Dan, go for it. I love every moment of it. But I got to tell you, man, I was scared to death, dog. I was shaking in my boots that entire game. I ain't even gonna lie. But like you said, we came out. Sam Laporta may or may not play, but it is part of the game. I still think we'll. I ain't gonna say we'll be fine without him, but I think we'll be okay. And like you said, man, got another victory. We came away with another victory. You know, most athletes want to play in that game anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's how Dan is getting these players motivated to get them out here playing and give them that feeling that they want to have. So I mean, it's motivation for both. So I think that keeps them motivated and wanting to play for a championship. So I'm not mad at it. Um, uh, was it anything that stood out about that game as far as their play, as far as them going into the playoff season? I mean, are you more confident? Are you less confident? How you feeling about how they playing right now?
They are playing exactly who they are, in my opinion. I've been saying it all year that their best defense is their offense, controlling the ball, putting up points, running the ball, spreading the ball around. That's pretty much been their bread and butter, and then their defense just coming up with a sack here or a turnover there, and the defense is going to give up yards. But the key is, can they not give up points? I mean, it's the philosophy. The philosophy all the way back to Matt Patricia. The bend but don't break. The Patricia defense, that defense bend and broke. But this Lions team, they will bend, but they're not always going to break. So it's just going to be a matter of, in my opinion, it don't even really matter to the defense. Those guys are going to be out there. If anything, is Hutchinson going to make a play? Is Hutchinson going to get a sack? And is the secondary going to come up with an interception? We don't really force fumbles like that other than, strip sacks. So other than that, it's all going to come down to the offense. And Laporta not being out there will hurt, but I really like Laporta a lot. You sent me that thing early in the year with the team interviewing all of their draft prospects, and I told you that the guy that stood out the most to me in that whole video was Laporta. And that guy's a hard worker. He's a high IQ player, but I think it's just the tight end position. It's a it's a luxury. It's a luxury to have a great tight end.
Right.
And tight ends move the chains. Tight ends catch touchdowns, but at the same time, it's just a part of me just feels like a tight end is just like a cherry on top, man. Like, and I understand there's plenty of offenses that run through, the Travis Kelce's and the George Kittles and the TJ Hawkinsons, and Sam Laporta. Like, it's a lot of the offenses run they offense, and the tight end is a big factor. But at the end of the day, not having your tight end out there shouldn't break you as a team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think our run offense more so runs through our running backs, and our tight end and St. Brown is more of a bailout type deal situation. I feel the same way, man. I feel like our offense has been high power all season long, except for when they decide they don't want to play for the season. But our defense has stepped up when they needed to. I've been saying that for the last few weeks, man. Like, our defense makes plays when they need to, and I got to give credit where the credit is due. The last 2 weeks, man, they've been balling out. I don't know if it's because of the change in the secondary, or the veterans we bought on the other side of the edge. But by the way, shouts out to Jerry Jacobs, man. I thought that was a mistake, kind of a little bit getting rid of them. I mean, it won't make or break us, but I would like to have that depth. The Lions waived Jerry Jacobs. I would like to have that depth at cornerback, but it is what it is. More power to him, man. If you make it back to the practice squad, you know what I'm saying, we'll be glad to have you back. But if not, then no. Good luck to wherever you go, man. But yeah, man, I'm feeling good about how we going into the playoff season. Defense is playing better than they have all season long, and the offense has just got to keep doing what they've been doing, and I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, this game. This is a big game, man. This is honestly probably the biggest. I mean, obviously it's a playoff game, but I haven't felt like there's been a game with like such high stakes since either the Dallas game with the picked up flag, or the I don't remember what day it was, but it was a game against Green Bay with the division on the line. I think that was the Hail Mary game. So, you know, that's almost 10 years ago. I feel like. So it's been a long time since there's been a game this big, and how fitting is it that this game is going to be against the guy that was a quarterback of those teams, and Matthew Stafford.
So yeah, man, I was gonna ask you, man. The way the playoffs play kind of laid out for us, man. I mean, do you think it could have got any better for the NFL? I mean, the storyline, the Lions are a up and coming team, one of the most popular teams that are in the NFL this year. That they went from a nobody team, a team that nobody wanted to see, to a team that's got a lot of hype around them. Now, a lot of people want to see them. They're getting ratings when they come onto national TV.
They
When you hear about the Lions,
5 Pro Bowl starters, and they just announced they got 5 All Pros, including St. Brown.
yeah, I think the playoff game is one of the. I think our playoff game is one of the highest tickets selling right now. So for the NFL, I mean, could this have played out any better? Like, so you have Matthew Stafford, who was traded from the Lions to the Rams to go win the Super Bowl, and the Rams gave up Jared Goff, who they didn't think they could win the Super Bowl with. Came here and is winning games to face off against each other to see actually who the quarterback versus quarterback, basically. And then on top of that, if the Lions win this game, then they'll be going to Dallas, you know, saying that they beat Green Bay. They'll be going to Dallas to play Dallas in a rematch game of the game that we was just talking about, where there was so much controversy last week. So that's a rematch game. And then if the Lions can win that game, we'll be playing, from what I can assume, would be San Francisco for the North Division, the NFC Conference Finals. What do you think about the storyline to the NFC Championship game, man, for the Lions?
I think it all comes down to tomorrow. I think if they can win tomorrow, then they probably gonna look like the most dangerous team in the playoffs right now. And they could beat Dallas, and you know, sure, San Francisco will be favored, but they could beat San Francisco just because at the end of the day, San Francisco's quarterback is Brock Purdy. So, you know, I mean, Brock Purdy has been doing a great job this year. You know, it was some people that was going crazy talking about MVP. I don't know what they were seeing, but
I agree with Cam Newton, man. He's a game manager, and you know what I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with being a game manager, but that's what he is.
Yeah,
shit. So it's good Jared Goff.
Yeah, that MVP talk was, you know, sometimes you get mad when people be bringing up stats. Like, man, stats, man, you can stats whatever. I'm a big stats guy, but Brock for MVP was a pure stats driven narrative that was off base, simply because he's just on the best team in the NFC and with one of the best coaches in the NFC in the NFL. Period. But as far as the storyline tomorrow, man, it's huge, man. It's huge. It's great, honestly. Like this is what sports is all about. I was thinking about Major League. That's all I kept thinking about was Major League. Because in Major League, the Indians back then, the Indians no more, but the Indians never won.
Right.
They never won the World Series. At the end of those movies, they was never winning the World Series. They was always winning they division, division
Right.
the division playoff game and stuff like that. But at the end of the movie, it felt like they won it all. And that's, if we win tomorrow, that's what it would feel like, because same thing in Major League. The second one, they had that one guy, and he was like, man, he was like, man, we can't win here. These some bums over here. And they was like, hey, we trading you to, I think it was the Yankees. He was like, bet,
That's right.
He went to the Yankees and tore it up, and then he had to come back to Cleveland, and he had to go to, Ricky Vaughn, and like, oh man, like that's what it feel like. And if we could win tomorrow, it would pretty much, in my opinion, put the bed the whole SOL thing. Like this is for to continue in the playoffs, but more importantly, in my opinion, it's about putting SOL to bed.
Yeah, I can feel that, man. This was the goal. Tomorrow was the goal. We started off the season saying, and I think most of the Lions fan base can agree with that our goal was to win the division and win the playoff game. So we can do that. That would definitely put SOL to bed. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you're going off that, Terry Foster says that we got to do it consistently, because we've come out and being good in the past, and then the next year we stunk again. But yeah. I think this would the way I feel about this team.
I heard one person say, you got to win Super Bowl, and I love Terry, and I love the guy that said that you got to win Super Bowl, but really though, it's like I feel like that's unfair, because if that's the case, how many teams haven't won Super Bowls? But you don't hear people saying same old Jaguars, same old Titans, same old whoever. Like, I mean, same old Raiders. I mean, no. SOL is about like losing in stupid ways and being a horribly ran franchise. Like, you kill SOL, and then you can worry about all that other stuff, winning, doing consistently, But like, same thing with the Pistons. Like, the Pistons are terrible, but they were on a losing streak, so they had to get one win, and until they get back to where they was at before as far as losing, like they on like a 6-game losing streak now, but still, the fact is, like, in that point in time, they are not who they were because they won the game. So it's like, I understand what they're saying at the end of the day, but you got to look at it short term before you turn it into something long term.
I kind of understand what they're saying, man, but the Lions are good, man, and not only are the Lions good, the Lions are young, so I feel like they're going to be good for a little while. So I think a win tomorrow would put the SOL to bed, for me anyway. I mean, it's subjective, you know what I'm saying? It could be subjective, because we have a lot of fans out there that feel different about a lot of things, man. We got new fans, we've got old fans, we've got bandwagon fans, you know what I'm saying? So it's subjective. It just depends on what type of fan you are, for you to decide that factor. But I think it's going to be a great game tomorrow. As far as the game goes, I said this before, I like the matchup against the Rams. I think that our offense, for me, we have more weapons than we have more weapons than the Rams. They have Cooper Cup, Kanua, Pool Nakua, and we have St. Brown, both our running backs, Gibbs and Montgomery. We have we have a somewhat hurt Sam Laporta, and we got hopefully Jamo will be back, and then we also have Reynolds and Khalif Raymond in the. I don't know if Khalif Raymond is back, but we got a lot of weapons on offense, and then like I said, I don't know the Rams defense, but I know our defense steps up and makes plays when we need to. But I don't know anybody on the Rams defense.
Yeah, no. I mean, other than Aaron Donald, nah. Aaron Donald in the Rams defense, but
Yeah,
you know, honestly, man, I feel like this is a push. I feel like it's a push. You know, you could argue that Nakua is an All-Pro. Cooper Kupp is a former All-Pro. Stafford has never been an All-Pro, but Stafford, has no problem putting up yards. Just on the flip side, we at home. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be so interesting. It's gonna be so interesting to see like how Ford Field reacts to Stafford and how Stafford reacts to Ford Field. I'm not the biggest Stafford fan, but at the same time, if he comes, if it was up to me, if I was in charge of what the crowd does, when Stafford gets introduced, I would give him applause, and after that, all bets are off. I would let him have it from all the way to the end of the game. It's just gonna be the psychology of him playing the Ford Field his whole career, and the crowd being on his side, and now to come in here and hear be just so crazy, and him having to battle the crowd. That's gonna be fun for me to watch.
yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be an interesting game. I think a lot of people are divided about Stafford, to your point, but I think most people want to see the Lions beat Stafford, man, and let's move on to the next level. I mean, I think that would be a final chapter in moving on from SOL, moving on from Stafford, breaking ties, winning against him, breaking ties against him, and moving on to a whole new chapter that would be like the the brand new Lions all wrapped up in one. You know what I'm saying? That would be the end of the SOL and the beginning to the brand new Lions. Moving forward, man. Michigan went out and won them a national title, man. Conventionally, man. I thought that Washington and Alabama would give Michigan some troubles, man. And I mean, I wouldn't say it wasn't a blowout, but I never felt that Michigan was gonna lose either game.
Yeah, Alabama gave them a tougher challenge than Washington did, just because Alabama's defense is much better than Washington's, and it rings true in the majority of championship games, man. When it happens all the time, man. You get this great offense lined up against this great defense, and most of the time, man, that great defense comes through. The game against Alabama, it started off real shaky, but really Michigan's defense, man, just stood out. Like that was what stood out the most about that game. Like my man Milroe for Alabama just couldn't get any time. Penix, the way Washington drew it up was like they were. It almost seemed like they over prepared for the rush. Like Penix was getting the ball out so fast that I feel like sometimes he was getting it out too fast to where he could have let the play develop a little bit more. But credit to Michigan. Donovan Edwards with them 2 big runs out of nowhere because he having not done anything really all season. But that's what happens in championship games, man. Your best players gotta play their best, and that's what Michigan did. So yeah, props to them.
Yeah, Donovan Edwards surprised me, man, because I was just talking about him, how he was talking mad junk before the season, and he didn't produce anything, pretty much nothing all season. But he had a good game, man. Both him and Blake Coral, man. Yeah, man. I think they both broke records in that game. I gotta give out a shout out to Penix, man. I mean, like you said, he wasn't having the best game because he took a lot of fire that game, man. But I give a shout out to him because he was a warrior. He took those shots, and it looked like by the end of the game he was bruised, battered, like he walked out of there with either some bruised or some broken ribs. But he stayed in there, man. He held strong, and he tried to come back and stay in that game as long as possible. I personally would have took him out because at a certain point, there was no way he was winning that game, and he was still in there trying to fight for him. But yeah, shout out to him. But yeah, man, go blue. Michigan defense was all over the field, man. They played a hell of a game. Since I think his name is Stanstrill has been having a hell of a junior and senior year, man. I expect him to go. He's a little guy, man, but he makes plays, and I expect to see him up there in the draft. I don't know who's gonna draft him, but he's a good player, man. He sealed the game off to end the game, and he's had a lot of plays like that, a lot of clutch plays like that, man, where he sealed the game off, and they won U of M won the game because of him. But yeah, man. Shout out to U of M, man, and I don't know what we'll do next year because I think a lot of the guys are graduating, a lot of guys stay back just for this moment, and I think we're gonna see a lot of the guys in the draft this year, especially from that defense.
Yeah, I know they're saying a lot of the D line is gonna be coming back because I think they were like sophomores. And Corum is probably gonna be gone, but I think Donovan Edwards, he got a decision to make. Like you said, he didn't really have that much of that great of a year, so it would kind of make sense to come back. They said if he comes back, then Corum's gone. So if he comes back, he would be the lead back. And really the team, I mean, it comes down to me, it comes down to is Harbaugh coming back and is JJ coming back. Because if you get both of them guys back and you got that D line still, and you got Donovan Edwards, you be straight. But they're gonna have tougher competition next year with the Pac-12 moving in.
Yeah, definitely. The Pac-12 will definitely increase the competition. Speaking on Harbaugh and JJ, I don't personally think that JJ will come back, but I kind of feel like the media was kind of making JJ bigger than what he was, man. Like, I mean, he had a decent game. I think he had a decent season, but I don't think he had this game-breaking season. But the media is all over him like he did. What are your feelings on JJ, and how high do you think his ceiling is for the draft?
JJ came out, which I wouldn't recommend. I could see him getting taken mid-second round.
Mid-second round?
Yeah.
So you think he should? So you basically think he should just? What is he, a junior?
Yeah, something like that.
So you basically think that he should stay another year?
Definitely. I mean, he had no touchdowns He had no touchdowns in the championship game. Like, you know, I don't think his numbers was that great. He was efficient. Um, who wants to, the Carolina Panthers drafted an efficient quarterback, which, I mean, you can't even say Bryce Young is he is efficient, but Bryce Young put up better numbers, and he kind of got the same build as Bryce Young do, and like I said, I don't think he definitely wouldn't be one of the first quarterbacks off the board, so he might get picked up by a better team, but like,
You sure your boy Armani, your boy Armani said
yeah,
he the number one quarterback off the board.
yeah. When Armani talk about Michigan, you gotta discredit everything he's saying. But everything else I'm with. But yeah, I mean, if he goes late in the draft, then yeah, he might get picked up by a team that's already built to win, and they just need a quarterback to game manage them, the victory. So he could end up on the San Francisco. He can end up on San Francisco. I think he is a California kid, but I might be mistaken on that. But yeah, if he ended up in a situation like that, yeah, I think he can manage. But I would, if I was him, if I was giving him advice, I would say, yeah, go back and see what you can do, and try to move your stock up, because I don't even know what quarterbacks, like a lot of the quarterbacks are coming out this year, so he could be part of that next class, because I don't think it's nobody, like that. Ain't no Caleb Williams. If he comes out, he's going against Caleb Williams, Penix, I think Bo Nix, the guy from UNC Drake May. I don't see it in Drake May, but everybody loves Drake May. It's a lot of quarterbacks that's got a lot of hype and numbers to back up that hype. So I would recommend him come back.
Yeah, I thought JJ was a senior. That's why I thought he was coming out. But if he's a junior, I would definitely recommend him coming out. This is not your year. You got to drive up your stock. Don't go up against these guys, because you're not gonna beat any of these high ranking class guys that will be in this draft class. And as far as coming back next year, man. If doesn't come back and they get a new coach, it might be more favorable to get a coach that actually moves forward with the passing game, because Harbaugh is all in on his running. I think JJ would have had better stock if he had a different coaching system and they let him throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? They let him, but Michigan is not being made for a throwing offense. Maybe the time when Braylon Edwards played, but usually, Michigan is a running program. They highlight running backs. So if Jim Harbaugh does decide to leave, which a lot of people saying that they think he is because the NCAA wants him out, then I don't know. Maybe it'd be more favorable for him to get a new coach and a new system. What are your thoughts on Jim Harbaugh ain't coming back?
If I had to pick, I would say he coming back. They talking about making him the highest paid coach in college football, and yeah, if the NCAA, if that's the case, they talking about is a multi-year contract, giving him a multi-year contract. So I mean, if that's the case, and the NCAA out for you, and you get suspended for a whole year, then take the suspension and come back and see what the Pac-12, sit the year out, look what the Pac-12 look like in the Big Ten, game plan for that, and go from there. But as far as going to the NFL, I mean, I don't know why you would do that. Like you said, Jim Harbaugh is a ground game guy, ground and pound, and that would work in college. But what team in the NFL is ground and pounded like that? His old team, the 49ers, is probably the most successful running team in the NFL right now, and even then, they spread it out though. They run it in different ways. They move. They got Debo. They got McCaffrey. So I don't see Jim Harbaugh being successful in the NFL. So I would recommend. I think he should come back. You know, everything, take the penalty, whatever he gets, and go from there.
All right, and I think the last bit of news that I can think of while I was gone, and then we can go to the Pistons real quick. Um, was Russell Wilson got benched. It's looking like the Broncos are going to move on from him. If the Broncos move on from him, I don't know if it was you that asked me off camera, but somebody asked me what team would Russell Wilson would fit Russell Wilson best if the Broncos move on from him next year. I said the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just want to know what your thoughts are on that real quick.
Yeah, you said the Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought that was a real good answer. Talked to a friend of mine. He said the Falcons. Because you know Sierra, he said Sierra from Atlanta, and the Falcons got a lot of they got a lot of offensive I shouldn't say a lot. They got some offensive weapons,
Right.
but they don't have a quarterback. But other than that, I don't know. The more Russ is in the league, the more I'm starting to believe all these like rumors that this guy is just a weird guy, man, and he rubs people the wrong way, and I think Seattle is just such a special time, such a special. It all worked out perfectly when Russ got there, and once he got out of there, it's hard for other teams to deal with him. Kind of just our war is welcome there, I guess you could say. So where would he go outside of Denver? Like he never really fit in Denver, in my opinion. I see Russ in back in the NFC. What's that? The West, NFC West. He needs to. If I was him, I would say try to get back there. You're not going back to Seattle. You're not going to Arizona. You're not going to LA. I'm missing a team, but I like y'all answers better. You just got to find the right franchise that would be able to handle him, and I don't think it's a whole lot out there, especially at his age too.
Yeah, at his age, and then like you said, you have to find a team that could get behind him, even with the type of guy that he is. I just heard he's really cringe, he's really corny, and I mean, but if teams can get behind Jameis Winston, who's got a kind of a cornball in himself, man. I mean, you might be able to find a guy that can get behind Russell Wilson too. But I agree with you, man. His options are running short. Plus that cap hit that any team would take to take him on as well. So,
what team got behind Jameis Winston?
Well, the Saints did for a second. They were riding with him for a second, and until they weren't.
All of what, half a season?
Well, I mean, last year before he got hurt, man, Jameis Winston was the Saints' best option. They were winning games with him in, and they were losing games while he was hurt. So, but you know what I'm saying, they looked up and they saw Carr, and that they felt like he was a better option. And I don't know how I feel about that, because Carr's okay, but he's not his brother.
His brother is not him, but moving on. Moving on. You said about the Pistons. It's nothing to talk about the Pistons. I follow this one podcast. God, I forgot the name of it. I think it's called Pistons Talk. But man, Kuka Hill, that's the host, And this is the first year I followed that podcast. And first off, that guy's hilarious. He does a great job on the podcast. But the thing with that guy is that he started the season out so optimistic. Not even like optimistic that they was gonna make the playoffs or anything, but he was just optimistic because he's just a fan, and he was optimistic that it was gonna be, he was hoping for the best, and I can appreciate that. But these last couple episodes, this guy has done a podcast with a hood on. And the last podcast, he did a podcast with a hood on and the lights dimmed. And he was like, "I'm going to the dark side." He was like, "This team has turned me to the dark side. There is no light at the end of the tunnel." And he's absolutely right, man. He's absolutely right. There's nothing to talk about the Pistons because it goes so far beyond the team. It goes beyond the coaches. It goes beyond the general manager. It goes all the way to the top to the owner. And at this rate and at this pace, the owner has no plans. We can only go off of what he said. Maybe he feels differently in the background, but why? I don't know. Why would you say this out loud? And then his actions have reflected that he really believes that this team can get it together and just give it a little bit more time. And that is the craziest thing in the world because this team is awful. The team is not good. The general manager has constructed the worst roster in NBA history. And that's not hyperbole. That's facts. Like record wise, they are the worst team. No team has ever lost that many games in a row. Therefore, they're the worst team ever in American sports. And for the owner to come out and be like, "Oh, it's all right. He gonna get it together." Like what? Like no. Like yeah, I just signed Monty Williams to a crazy contract. Dog, they all should be fired. They all should be fired, and they not. They keep on talking about we looking at all different things we could do and it's a lot of rumors that the Pistons are gonna make these trades, and it hasn't happened yet. So why hasn't it happened yet? If y'all see how terrible this team is, and y'all just keep parading them out there, it hasn't happened yet. K is hurt right now. He's gonna be out for at least another week. There's no hope for this team at all. They gonna. The only thing that might happen is they might set the longest losing streak record twice in one season, which would be amazing.
That would be awful, dog. That would be awful, man.
Yeah, it would be.
Well, seeing this, you say it's nothing. It's nothing to save the Pistons. I don't know if we need to spend a lot of time on them. I did see real quick. I did see a clip where I thought it was a quick short on YouTube Shorts, and Jaden Ivey could have won the game with a buzzer beater shot, and it went in the rim, halfway down, bounced around the rim, and then fell out. So I don't know. Maybe. Oh, okay. So maybe this team is just preordained to be losers right now because
don't forget Jalen Duren got a tip in off offensive rebound and had a chance to tip it in, and I don't know what he did. Like I don't know if the short went all the way through to that, but yeah, like Jalen Duren got that offensive rebound point blank at the basket and like aired it like 2 inches away from the basket. So yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe we destined just to be this bad for right now, man. It's something needs to happen, and I don't know what it is. But if we can't even get those wins where you hit the shot and it still bounces around and comes out, fate is against us right now. Fate is against us. I watched another clip with this other guy. I just started following him. I couldn't tell you his name, but he showed a highlight of the press conference after the game, And Monty Williams was like, Monty Williams was like, oh man, he's just like, those are just one of those games where, you know, you just say, oh man, God, why, you know, we couldn't we get this one break? And he was like, oh, but you know, I know God is more concerned about how we handle it than who wins and loses the game. And my man on the podcast was like, yeah, Monty Williams is turning to God for answers, and God just God don't care about the Pistons. God has turned his back on the Pistons. The only thing, man, the only thing that the Pistons give us is just, you know, content for jokes, man. At this point, that's all they good for. But my man Kuka Hill, man, that guy, that had me dying last night. He said that, hey, Monty Williams, he's like, I get it. Monty Williams was dealt a bad hand. He was dealt a terrible hand with this roster. And he was like, basically, they asked him to make a gourmet meal out of paperclip and some Swiss cheese. And I understand you can't make a gourmet meal out of that. But he was like, somehow Monty Williams has taken this roster. He's taken a piece of string and a paper clip, and he's burnt down the whole house. I'm rewind that like 3 times because it's facts, bro. It's facts. Like, not only is this roster terrible, but I just keep thinking in my head, like, any coach in the NBA would be able to at least, like, I feel like a coach wins, like your coach from like actually coaching. I feel like your coach should be able to win you like one game out of every 10 games. Like, every 10 games, your coach is going to come up with something or put people in position and be like, damn, you know, he really outcoached the other guy and got us the victory. Monty Williams doesn't do that. He has no pulse for this roster. You know, Marvin Bagley, power forward, he played a little bit to start the season, and then boom, just benched out of nowhere. They said the last time he played was Christmas. No, my bad. He played 2 games after Christmas, and last night was one of them. So, but he wasn't even playing bad, and they benched him. Asar Thompson hit the ground running. You know, I was a hater on that Asar Thompson pick, and he hit the ground running, and I had to shut my mouth and be like, hey, this guy got some potential. Man, Asar Thompson has turned into what I thought Asar Thompson was going to be. And it's not even, I don't even blame Asar Thompson. I blame the coaching staff because he showed that he can be a solid player in the NBA. But the way they're using him, the minutes he gets, you know, I hate it, you know, goes back to DeAndre Swift. I hate it when they put guys out here, give them like 5 minutes, and then they don't do anything. And then they're like, oh, see, up. Go back to the bench. And it's like, you got to let guys get in the rhythm. You got to let guys, you know, knowing that you're going to get the hook at any minute, that should affect your game. If you know you're going to be out there, then it lets you play more loose. You can make mistakes. And at the same time, you can make great plays. But the way they treat Asar Thompson, like, Monty Williams has no pulse for this team at all. He's just out there. He answered a question last night where he said, you played a lot of Jay Ivey at point. The only reason he played Jay Ivey at point is because Cade Cunningham is hurt. And he said, yeah, you know, we were sitting down in the staff meeting, you know, with everybody. I guess I don't know if Tom Gores was there, but definitely Troy Weaver would have been in there. And he said, everybody asked me, how come you haven't run Jay Ivey at point this year? And he was like, I didn't have an answer.
Right. That's it all.
I had to eat it. Like, that was you just never thought of that. You just never considered that. Like, this dude is not good at his job. I don't know why. I don't know if he don't care. I don't know if he's used to having vets to take half of the load off of him, but this guy, and the rumors was that Troy Weaver didn't even want this guy to be the coach, and you really are understanding why, because this guy has no pulse for a young team. Yeah. He might be so far into the league, you know, maybe young Monty Williams would have had a chance, but This guy, he done played with Chris Paul. I mean, he's coached Chris Paul. He's coached Kevin Durant. He's coached Anthony Davis. Like, man, this guy's so far removed from not having a star on the team. Like, it's foolish, man.
Yeah, I mean, and to back up what you're saying, man, like, so I was with the Monty Williams pickup only because I hadn't really been following basketball these past couple of years, and everybody told me that Monty Williams went to the Suns and turned that whole program around. But then once he got here, man, you was telling me that, well, yeah, he turned it around, but he had Chris Paul. Yeah, he turned some programs around, but he had Durant. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and then I got to thinking, like, all these problems that the Pistons are having, it sounded like coaching. And then I got a chance to watch a couple of the games, man. And in particular, they just played Denver. The game that Cade Cunningham got hurt. I was in the hospital watching that game, man, and I was looking at it, and it just confirmed that everything that you were saying to me about how he really doesn't want to be here. He just doesn't want to. He's I don't like that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything that everybody, it's like people lied to me. It's like people lied to me about how good he was, because it's like, duh, he was okay. So he was on the sideline, walking back and forth with his hands folded, but he wasn't doing anything. It was like, duh, say something. You know what I'm saying? Like, coach. You know what I'm saying? Then on the timeout breaks, you know what I'm saying? I'm used to seeing coaches draw up a play. You know what I'm saying? Was he drawing up a play? No, he wasn't drawing up a play. The players was just sitting on the bench, and after the break was over with, they all came back out. And you know what I saw when during the whole game? I didn't see any plays. The Pistons aren't running plays. They kind of throw the ball to one person. He throws it back to that person, and whoever ends up with the ball after that second pass, it's on you. See if you can score. And that's basically basically their offense. You know what I'm saying? It's like a game of pickup.
Yeah. It's the worst roster in the NBA, man. Bar none. And that's what made my man. That's what made my man put the hood on, was because we played the Wizards early in the season, and people was like, "Oh, this is they got to beat the Wizards. The Wizards are terrible." Blown out. Then they played the Spurs a couple days ago, and Spurs, like the second or third worst team in the NBA, blown out. Wembanyama, he got a triple-double in like 20 minutes and didn't even play like really in the fourth quarter. And that was it for my man. And now they play the Wizards next. I think that's tomorrow. Yeah, no, they play the Wizards on Martin Luther King. And they're probably gonna lose.
They probably are, man. But it's just like what you said. Me and you came up with the idea to play Jaden at point months ago, man. How you can't figure this shit out, man? Why is Jaden when KD is in the game? Why is Jaden Ivey standing in the corner waiting for a 3-pointer? He can't shoot 3-pointers.
It's the same thing they do to
he can, but he can't.
Yeah, no, you're right. He can't.
Well, why?
He can, but he can't. And that's the same thing they do with All-Star Thompson. They have him stand in the corner. He's a terrible 3-point shooter. And what he's and that's like what. So to your point, Monty Williams is coaching them to coach how he likes to coach, but he doesn't realize, I'm sure he does realize it, but he just thinks that he can coach through it or it'll come. Like, he likes to shoot 3-pointers, but we don't have a 3-point shooting team. But he just puts guys in spots to shoot 3-pointers when they're not 3-point shooters, which is dumb.
Right.
The other terrible thing he does is he'll do something good. He'll find something. You'll see something good in one game, and he will never go back to that again. So this stretch that Cade is out, this stretch that Cade is out, and Jaden Ivey is running the point. When Cade comes back, you will never see Jaden Ivey running the point for the rest of the year. You know, he'll say stuff like, "Hey, maybe I'm using too many guys in the rotation, which is an absolute facts. He's doing a 10-man rotation, and there are not 10 good players on this team. There are barely 5 good players on this team. But let
Right.
alone to try to get 10 guys to play in the game, you are wasting minutes. And what does he do? He continues to do it. And he's even said after games, like, I got to shorten the rotation. Guy comes out and does the same thing over and over and over and over again. So he'll acknowledge that he did something right or wrong, and he'll just do it over again, or he won't do it over again. It's a new game plan every game based off of nothing.
Well, man, with all this greatness surrounding the city right now, it seems like a shame to waste it all on the Pistons, man. Let's just go around the league, and we can end it off there.
All right, so got a couple games.
Playoff edition of Around the League.
So let's see what we got. First game on today. Cleveland Browns are going to Houston. Cleveland giving 2.
Man, I want to go with my heart says the Texans, man. But this is a playoff and you can't go with your heart. They got a rookie quarterback. They got 3 hurt receivers, and I didn't like the way they played against the Colts, so I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. I just said it about Michigan and Washington, and that is you got a great offense versus a great defense, and usually that defense comes through. Like you said, this is going to be Deshaun Watson. Wow, this is going to be C.J. Stroud's first look at the playoffs. He's going to be at home. It's going to be a good game. He's going to give it, shout out to C.J. Stroud again. I was dogging him before he came to the league, but he's done nothing but prove me wrong the whole year. So I think he's gonna put up a big fight, but I think Myles Garrett gonna introduce him to the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
Next up, only on Peacock, Miami versus KC. KC, wow, KC at home giving 5.
This is a tough one for me, man, because Miami has a high power offense, and they don't do good against good teams. But KC has proven in the last couple of weeks not to be that good of a team. But when in doubt, I have to go with the experience. I think that KC has the playoff experience, so I think I'm gonna go with Kansas City, man.
I'm with you. This is a tough one. I feel like these are famous last words, but I just feel like 5 is a lot to be given for KC to be given. I get it, they at home. I guess the playoffs, but like Travis Kelce has looked like the Eagles going into the fumbling into the end of the season.
Right.
But like you said, Miami hasn't showed any aptitude in beating the good teams. I'm gonna go ahead and take the 5 with Miami. I'm not saying they'll win, but I think they cover.
Okay, I can see that.
Green Bay is going to Dallas. Dallas giving 7.
Damn. I think that the Cowboys will beat Green Bay. I don't think they'll beat them by 7 though. I think it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a close game. Give me Green Bay with the points, but Dallas to win.
Yeah, Green Bay has earned some respect down this stretch. The only thing I will say is Dallas is one of the better. They got one of the better secondaries in the league, and they have, obviously they got a great pass rush. So I think that's going to be enough to confuse Jordan Love, get some hits on them, maybe a couple turnovers. So I'll take the 7. I'll take Dallas in the 7.
Okay.
The Rams coming to Detroit. Detroit versus everybody. You see they canceled the Imagine Theater thing?
No, what they?
Oh man, Detroit versus everybody, man. They Imagine was gonna show the game on the theater screens. And
Straight up.
Yeah, it was a couple. I know it was a law firm, I should say, a law firm, and Twin Peaks. They was gonna do Stafford jersey exchanges. So if you bring in your Stafford jersey, they'll give you like it was Goff, Hutchinson, or somebody else. And the NFL came down and nixed all of that.
Wow, for real?
Yeah.
Dang.
I thought that was whack as hell.
Dang. I wonder why the NFL did that, man. They want all the money, huh?
I guess so. I mean, I guess I can't even really say I understand the jersey thing. Because I mean they still buying them. I mean, like these are counterfeit jerseys or nothing like that. So they already bought the Stafford jersey, and the law firm would have bought those jerseys that they was giving away. So I don't get that. And the same thing with Imagine. It's like, okay, we can't watch it at a movie theater, but we can go to a bar and watch it. Like,
right? Yeah, exactly.
I don't get it. But anyway, Lions giving
that would have been live. That would have been live all the way around. That would have been live.
Yeah, they shot all that shit down. But Lions. So the Lions giving 3.
I'm gonna go with the Lions in this game. It might be my heart, but I feel like we're a better team than I said this a couple of weeks ago. I feel like we can be. I wasn't worried about LA. Not to say that they're not a team to be worried about, but I think that we can beat LA as long as we go in and play like I know we can go in and play. So I'll take the Lions, and I think we cover the spread, and we go in there and we win, and we move forward.
We both on the Lions. I feel I'm a lot more. I'm not as big of a fan as a matchup as you are. I really think that this is gonna have to be like a heavyweight fight. This is gonna have to be like I feel like nothing's gonna be given in this game. It's all gonna have to be taken. And I'm just gonna give the Lions the benefit of the doubt that they are who we think they are. Pittsburgh is going to Buffalo. Buffalo is giving. What you think Buffalo giving?
7 points.
10.
10 points. Wow. This feels like a Packers game to me. Like I think that Buffalo will win this game. But matter of fact, I'll take that. I think they're gonna cut. I think Buffalo gonna cover the 10 points because J.J. Watt is hurt, and that changes the alignment of that whole game. Yeah. So yeah, give me Buffalo minus the points because they gonna cover that.
Yeah. No, T.J. Watt. That's a good point. Dog. Mike Tomlin might be one of the greatest coaches of all time to get this team to the playoffs. With like,
dog, because they have nobody. They've had
like 3 quarterbacks all
Rudolph.
year. I can't stand Rudolph.
Rudolph is their starting quarterback.
Yeah, Rudolph is their starting quarterback right now. Trubisky is trash. And Kenny Pickett gets hurt every time he plays football. I can't. It's honestly no reason to take Pittsburgh other than Mike Tomlin is the greatest coach of all time,
Yeah,
And,
I totally agree.
and like you said, at one point in the season, there was a point where Pittsburgh just couldn't lose for some reason. But I don't know, man. Buffalo at home. I think it's gonna be like a blizzard too. So I mean that might benefit. Nah, I can't even say that's gonna benefit. Uh,
No, that Buffalo loves to play in that weather.
Right. All right. Last game. Philadelphia going to this is a hard game. Philadelphia going to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is getting 3 at home.
The way Philly has been playing, man, I would like to say that Tampa Bay will win this game, but Philly is still Philly, man. So I'm gonna roll with them. I feel like they gonna get it together this game. It's the playoffs. They're gonna feel like they're gonna pull themselves up by the bootstraps, and they're gonna go ahead and win this game.
Yeah. Philly has just been awful. I mean, they lost to the Giants in the last game. Like they've just been awful. And Jalen Hurts got like a bad finger. DeAndre Swift finally did get hurt. I think he'll be back for this game though. Darius Slay missed the end of the season. I think he'll be back. And they put Matt Patricia as their defensive coordinator. These are all things that you don't want to hear going into the playoffs. But do I really want to bet on Baker Mayfield and go against my my de facto secondary team in Philadelphia? I can't do it. I'm going with Philadelphia as well.
It's tough, ain't it? It's tough. That was a tough matchup.
That's the toughest game to pick out of all of them to me.
Well, we just wanted to give you a quick episode. I mean, we ended up doing a full show. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for rocking out with us, man. Remember to like, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Stay with us. Keep supporting us. And as always, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for coming out. Go Lions. Peace.
Go Lions. One pride. Check out my hype video. I posted that yesterday. Beat the Rams. Go Lions. F the referees, man.
For real, man.